Hey, what's going on? I'm Mike and I'm the creator of Namikopy, and I'm here again to talk to you about one of my cards. Today's card is one of my newer cards, but it's definitely one I had a lot of fun making, and that would be card number 92, Ixfronio. Now, when it came time to design a card, I decided to skip the usual way of starting. Usually I start with asking myself, is it high or low? Then I'll ask myself, is it an animal, food, object, or human? But with this card, I knew I wanted to start with something that was a cross between three animals. I decided to skip two animals and go straight to three. I don't know what I was thinking. But I knew I wanted to make it three animals. So I really started thinking about what the animals were going to be. I settled on swan as one of the animals because I figured that was a nice kind of smaller animal that I could fit onto the card, and it had an interesting body and that long neck. The next thing I started thinking about was the face. How did I want the face to look? And I thought about some type of beak or something along those lines, and I came up with crocodile. I have that long snout with the teeth sticking out, and I thought that would make for a really interesting face. For the third animal, I decided I wanted something either on the head or the back. I was thinking about the head, possibly antlers or horns, and I settled on ox horns. So that's how I came up with the horns. Now, drawing it, I had a lot of fun doing. Like I said, I was able to fit the swan body on there, and the crocodile snout looked really good, and I enjoyed adding the horns. I also added a little to the background, just kind of put it in that setting. I added a little water to show that it's floating in the water, and I also added in the back a little tree or a bush or something like that, just to give it a little space inside the card. I also decided to color it with colored pencil. I think it gives it that nice textured look. I really like using colored pencil. You get that really good texture kind of to it. And yeah, I decided also while I was drawing it, I'm thinking about the PowerPoints and how strong it is. And I put it at 108, thinking that it's sort of like in the middle. It's not like a giant animal. It's sort of, obviously the size of a swan, so it's not very big. But, I figured it's kind of in between, a high card and a low card. So I made it 108. Also, while I was drawing the card, I was really thinking about the name. And I didn't want to just name it swan, crocodile, ox thing. I wanted to give it a name as though I had discovered this animal. That was my thinking, was if I had discovered this animal in the wild, what would I name it? And I gave it a lot of thought. I was playing with a lot of words in my mind. And I just kind of settled on Ixfronio. I thought it sounded cool. It means nothing at all. It's just a word, Ixfronio. And I thought that was a pretty cool name for this, mythical creature that I've created. So how can you use a similar idea and create your own card? It's very easy. You have thousands and thousands of possibilities. If you want, maybe cross two animals. If you're feeling very adventurous, you could try crossing three animals like I did, but really think about the three or two animals and, like how it's going to look. What are you going to do, or what are you going to take from each animal to create this new creature? If you're using two animals, are you taking, pieces from both animals and making it, this new thing? And three animals, how are you going to, incorporate three different aspects from three different animals? I think that's a real challenge, but I think you could have a lot of fun with it. And again, the possibilities are endless. You could easily make several decks of Namikopy just crossbreeding animals. And also, like I did, maybe give it an interesting name. Pretend that you've just discovered this creature in the wild. What would you name it? Really have fun with that and be creative with it. And again, as I always say, take your time. Really focus on those details when you're drawing. And then obviously when it comes to color, think about if you want to use colored pencil or marker. I always suggest coloring it. You can leave it black and white, but coloring really gives it that real pop of life and it makes it look really interesting. So again, take your time. If you're doing two animals, think about how you're going to combine two elements from each animals. And if you're doing three animals, think about how you're going to combine three different elements, one from each animal. And then also, like I said, come up with an interesting name. Pretend you've just discovered this creature in the wild. What would you name it? Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I hope you give it a like, thumbs up, and subscribe too. Thanks.